Today's lesson is powers to powers and products to powers. I know it's long. Make sure you get it down. Powers to powers and products to powers. So P to P and P to P. So you can think P to P and P to P. Powers to powers and products to powers. So here again is your exponent rule. A number or a variable, raised to the m power, and then that raised to the nth power. Sorry, someone's coming in. So let me say that again. A raised to the m power, and then that raised to the nth power means you are going to multiply m times n. You're going to multiply your powers as long as a is not 0. So here's an example. 2 to the second power raised to the third power. So you have a power to a power. You multiply 2 times 3, and then you get 2 to the 6th. And here's one with variables. You have y to the third raised to the negative third power. You multiply your exponents. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. But we can't have a negative exponent, so we move it to the bottom. And we get y, 1 over y to the 9th. 1 over y to the 9th. Can y'all see that? Let me make sure you can see that. Okay, as long as I move out of the way. Y to the 9th. Y to the 9th. Alright, so examples. Here we go. Example 1. X to the 4th raised to the 3rd. So this is a power to a power, and I'm going to multiply. 4 times 3 is 12, and so I get x to the 12th. Another example is 4g to the 10th raised to the second power. So this is a product in a power. Let's make a note. This is a product in a power, because this is 4 times g. So how you solve this is you kind of distribute. The 2 goes to the 4, and the 2 goes to the g. The exponent has to go to both things, or however many things are in your parentheses. So I get 4 to the second power, and I get g to the 10th to the second power. And then I just simplify. 4 to the second power, 4 squared is 16. And then I multiply 10 times 2 is 20. So I get 16g to the 20th power. So example 3, you try this one, please. 3x to the 3rd raised to the 4th. So this is a product raised to a power. So go back and look at your other example, pause the video, and then restart it when you're ready. So I'm going to kind of distribute. So I have 3 to the 4th power, and then x cubed to the 4th power. So I bring 3 to the 4th power, and then this thing to the 4th power. 3 to the 4th power, that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 9. So that must be 81. And then x to the 3rd to the 4th, you multiply, and we get x to the 12th. There you go. 81, x to the 12th. I hope you got that right. So here we go, example 4, 5g to the 4th power raised to the negative 2 power. So we have a negative. We have to distribute to both. So now I have 5 to the negative 2nd power, 5 to the negative 2nd power, and I have g to the 4th to the negative 2nd, to the negative 2 power. So 5 to the negative 2, and then g to the 4th to the negative 2. I'm going to multiply 4 and negative 2, and I get negative 8. But notice right here, I've got negative exponents, and you can't have negative exponents, so I have to move both of them to the bottom. This negative exponent to the bottom, and this one to the bottom, so I have a numerator of 1. And now that I have it on the bottom, now they are positive, and I can simplify. 5 squared is 25g to the 8th power. Again, we've gone over negative exponents. You have to move them to the bottom. And since I don't have anything left, I put a 1 in my numerator. So let's do this example together. 2h to the negative third power raised to the negative third. So I'm going to distribute it. I get 2 to the negative third. And then h to the negative third raised to the negative third. So this is a power to a power. Let me multiply these, and I get 2 to the negative third. And then h to the ninth, because negative 3 times negative 3 gives me a positive 9. So now, I only have one negative exponent. That has to go to the bottom. My h to the ninth stays on top. So I'm going to have h to the ninth and 2 to the third. H to the ninth stays the same, and 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So my final answer is h to the ninth power over 8. And I had to move this to the bottom because of that negative exponent. Whenever you have a negative exponent, you move it to the bottom. So number 6. You try number 6. Notice I've given you 3 things in the parentheses, a 3, an x, and a y, raised to the power of 2. 3x squared, y to the negative cube, raised to the second power. So you try this one, pause it, and then when you're ready to see my answer, press play. So I'm going to bring it to the 3, to the x, and to the y. So 3 squared, x squared, y to the negative 3 squared. That should have been your first move. And now, I'm going to multiply 3 squared, x to the 4th, y to the negative 6. But we can't have a negative exponent, so I've got to move this to the bottom. And then I can simplify my final answer. 3 squared is 9, x to the 4th, over y to the 6th. 9x to the 4th over y to the 6th. So I hope you got that. I know this was short, but we'll practice more tomorrow.